And in the top right-hand corner of Entombed Valley, we have our pink Protoss player, winner of the last game, taking down Sickness. It is Evil Geniuses JYP. And his opponent in the lower left-hand corner, from Dream Team Gaming, our Red Terran player, it is Someday.
Or Burger King Shield.
Burger King Shields. I like that.
That's right. Some of those fast food burgers, you know, they're kind of tough. You could maybe use them as a shield.
That's true.
I could see that.
Yes.
I actually kind of do like Burger King, though, I got to say.
Okay.
It's pretty decent, but some of the other ones, not so much. Makes me think about it.
You're really trying for this personal Burger King sponsorship, aren't you?
A little bit, maybe.
A lot of free,
I don't know. I like the rodeo burger. Do you know what the rodeo burger is?
I don't know what
It's
the
not on
rodeo
the menu
burger
anymore,
is.
but you can ask for it. It is a cheeseburger, only it's just like burger and cheese, onion rings, and barbecue sauce. It's so good.
Well, there's
so good.
There is our Twitter question of the day. We seem to kind of have one that naturally develops.
All right.
Let us know on Twitter, and we'll read out some responses over the year as the games go along, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
What is your favorite fast food entree or something?
Don't say entree. That makes it too fancy.
Okay. What's your favorite item
fancy.
from a fast food restaurant?
Fast food thing.
Yes.
Yep.
There you go. Let us know on Twitter. I'm at Kevin Naki. He is at Gosudoa. For now, though, Someday putting up a refinery, pretty normal time, so I'm not going for that 1 Rax gasless fast expand.
Yep.
JYP, pretty predictable stuff. I say that every time, and then they double gas this time on 15. That is incredibly early double gas.
You deserve it. I have no sympathy.
All right.
JYP, he's just so happy to put down those refineries. Like, so just squeals with glee at getting his 2 gas so early. He's like rubbing his hands together in the sinister way. He's like, I've got a plan.
So we always have to answer our own Twitter question of the day. What's your favorite fast food item?
Mine? Are you asking me?
Yes.
Rodeo burger.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Rodeo burger.
I love those things, man.
Really mine is the thing that is guaranteed to give you intestinal problems, and that is the White Castle slider.
I don't know, man.
There you go. Back me up on this one, Twitter.
All right, so there's a factory going down right now.
Close second, a double-double. So
JYP getting a little bit maybe worried that he doesn't really know what his opponent is doing. He had that probe in his base for a long time, but there's a proxy factory.
That's right.
For Someday. I think we're going to see proxy Banshees. That's way too long for a Thor to walk. So it is going to be probably proxy Banshees. Yeah, reactor on there as well. Maybe even like a little bit of a proxy 1-1-1. As odd as that
seems like. No, it's absolutely what it seems like. So we'll see what he ends up following this up with here in just a second. If that starport's going to be right above.
There is room for an add-on there, I believe.
On JYP's side of things, though, he's got quite a bit of gas saved up, was pouring it into Stalkers for the time being. We'll see if he goes for something else. He did double gas on 15, which is very weird, and now not producing anything out of his gateways. He saves up resources for an expansion, so just kind of a weird way to go about things. Maybe this is a case also of JYP knowing his opponent better than we do. So
it certainly could be. I mean, if he wants to, he's going to be able to get his Robo Bay out very, very quickly with this build. He's going to have exactly enough gas, actually, right when he wants it, too. Very streamlined build from JYP if he does decide to get the Robo here. There's another gateway, but the idea being that he can get an observer out fairly early and then get a good scout of his opponent's base.
He's really worried about pressure, though. I mean, he put down both these gateways on about 26 supply, 27 supply, something like that.
Going for the second sentry, okay.
Yeah, that's very early. So usually you'd see those wait until about 34, 35 supply. But with the fact that he wanted to make sure he wasn't going to get gas stolen is what it kind of looks like, because as you see, he only has 4 workers on his assimilators, and getting those early gateways, I really do think he's afraid of pressure.
Yep, Cloak being researched right now by Someday, so he will someday send a Banshee to his opponent's base that will be able to become invisible. That may be a bit of a problem for JYP. Nope, never mind. He's getting a Robo. He's going to have an observer out, so should be perfectly fine.
Yeah, he should be. I mean, Cloak's not going to hit now for another 70 seconds, and JYP will be able to finish up that robotics facility and Chrono Boost out an observer.
He'll probably get it like 2 observers out by the time that Banshee gets there, actually.
Observer build time.
And what do we have here? 2 more barracks going down for Someday as well. Interesting. So, you know, this is a situation, too, where he could put down a reactor on the factory that's just kind of sitting there and then switch back over again and then have Medivacs meet an army coming across the map as well. Because right now, his opponent doesn't know about the building, so, you know, why not? It's a bit unorthodox, but it could work.
That's right. So we'll see if these units start trucking their way across the map here pretty quickly as BK, I was about to say BK Shield there, but Someday is sending out his first couple of units now.
Is there a tech lab on his factory already, actually?
Let me see. Yes, there is.
There is. Oh, okay, so he is going to go ahead and make a tank. All right. I was wondering about that. Okay, so it will be sort of a proxy 1-1-1. And there's a Banshee getting in there doing a little bit of damage. Cloak finishing right now at a perfect time.
That's right, and is the Observer going to start making its way back? It looks like it is, so Banshee gets away for the time being, stole 3 kills, and then got its way out of there, did a little bit of damage to the Sentry as well, but of course he's going to wait for other units to catch up here in just a bit.
Yeah, no siege mode or anything like that just yet. More important to just get a good amount of factories out. And this is going to be interesting. I feel like the problem with this sort of 1-1-1, whether it's proxied like we see here or all done in the base, the situation is if you go for Cloak with it, it comes very, very late. It really gives your opponent the best chance he has to prepare for it. Ooh, that Banshee taking a little bit extra damage there.
That's right. Gonna try. Wow, being very, very risky there. But look at that. He's able to pick off the Sentry, so it ended up being worth it in the end. Yep,
he'll need to send that home and get that repaired.
That's right.
Prepared up for the final push. Oh, and there's units going over to those buildings. They may. Do they know? Have they seen it yet? I don't know if they have.
I don't think they have. Let's take a look at his vision, but no.
Nope, not yet.
Not.
Okay. Well, I was kind of wondering when he was sending those over to the left, I thought maybe the Observer ran across it or something like that. But yeah, I mean, JYP is going to see this and he's like, all right, you've got to have more than just 3 barracks with Marines. This doesn't make any sense at all. Your gas has got to be going somewhere besides just Banshees because I've only seen 2 of those so far. So he should know, and the push is coming right now from Someday, so JYP's got to get ready to defend this.
That's right, and his forces are forced to be split up a little bit because of the threat of these Banshees, and the Banshees can cycle back around very easily and be integrated back into the army for additional DPS.
You know, I feel like JYP's in a little bit of trouble here. He threw down that robotics bay as soon as he saw what was in his opponent's base, but I don't think this is going to be a situation where he's going to have Colossi out in time to help defend.
All right, well, that's a fair number of units out for JYP, but unfortunately he runs smack dab into the middle of the army for Someday. Someday rolling his way up now with siege mode finishing at about 5 seconds.
That's right, and wow, the Banshee coming in from behind, continuing to kill off workers. That's going to allow Someday to get in there and get a very good position on his opponent, get a nice siege there if he decides to move. Someday playing this a little bit too passively, I think. He needs to get in there.
All right, well, he's got a couple of Immortals, or JYP has a couple of Immortals, I should say now, but the Marines should be able to tear that up pretty quickly. In fact, most of its shield's already gone. Banshee finally dispatched of. Yes, it is cleaned up, but it did do quite a bit of damage. 13 workers killed now
JYP's in huge trouble right now. He barely was able to afford 1 Colossus, but he's lost so much mining time that it's going to be tough, really, for him to get those out quickly and efficiently. Certainly won't have thermal lance anytime soon. The siege right now going pretty well for Someday, but he needs to keep this up. You know, he can't make any mistakes in terms of tank positioning.
That's right. It looks like he is going to lose 1 tank up at the front, but it's going to come at the cost of both the Immortals. 2 of the tanks have fallen so far, but the other ones are still firing upon the retreating Zealots, so most of the firepower was taken out of JYP's army, but he is going to have that Colossus up here in just a second.
Now. Yep, and the Banshees not being microed, both getting very low. One goes down, the other one goes down as well. No air vision at all for Someday unless he uses a scan. So that's going to be something that's going to help out JYP quite a bit. There is a scan to give those tanks a couple shots on his opponent's army.
Picks off the Observer too, so.
Yeah, things looking up for JYP just a little bit at this point. He's still behind, but, you know, he could come back from this point.
That's right. It's still pretty difficult for him, though. I mean, his opponent still has that very strong force up at the front, and these Marines are actually going to be able to pick away at the Nexus all day long, and the Siege Tank even in range to do the same.
Yep, that's right. Shield's all gone on that Nexus right now. The Marines giving vision again on the high ground. Another scan to take out that Observer. Very nice spotting there by Someday, actually. JYP, he needs to just go for it, and here he goes. But will he have enough to push this back?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The Colossus is just picking away at these Marines. It really has killed quite a bit. One of the tanks went down, but the other 2 were so well positioned behind the defense, well, essentially the meat shield of the Marines, that they really haven't been under that much fire quite yet. I mean, JYP trying to break his way out of this. The supplies are being whittled down for both players, but honestly, JYP not with a lot of firepower left.
And he's pushing up a little bit farther. He wants to end the game right now. Killing the pylon in the Natra was great, too, because it's made JYP, Warfin, a lot of units on that high ground and come down the ramp. Immortal trying to focus the tank. Oh, it doesn't get the tank.
That's right. So the tank is still up. One of the tanks goes down on the low ground, but now there's enough range here they can start to just kind of brute force their way against the Nexus, and it is going to fall. Does a little damage to the Colossus as well. Last couple of units are up for JYP, but he's down to just 36 supply.
Yep, that's going to be about it. One Colossus and one Stalker. Not going to be a lot of defense for JYP. Colossus retreating back to the high ground from that Banshee. Still firing at it as well, and Someday moving in to possibly take a win quite a bit quicker than Someday.
That's right. So it looks like the Colossus falls, and he's going to be able to even get the Banshee out of there. So there it is, GG. And Dream Team Gaming Someday has knocked out JYP.
Wow, nice performance by Someday. I mean, again, you know, a little bit of trickery in play.